Warning! This program contains strong adult language, violence, and brief nudity. It's everything you're looking for. Live from the Sims Tower in the Robinson Auto Group studio, we are AM 1600 WKKX.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Whispers Radio here on AM 1600 WKKX, the Valley's Watchdog, and UPRN, the UFO Paranormal Radio Network. It is 6:08, but 65 degrees.
I'm not believing that.
No, it is a little chilly.
Yeah.
A lot of chilly?
What
state we got the Weather Channel on?
What do you mean, what state? Oh, mostly Pennsylvania. That's where all the rain is, but... Well, the sun did peek out there for a few minutes last hour. And must have been because it was sitting low in the sky.
It's kind of chilly. I know. Our original plan, we were going to go to the lake this weekend, and it rained. This past weekend. Well, we were going to leave last night and then come up for the show and then go back out for the rest of the day tomorrow. But I mean, we couldn't go out in the water. We couldn't.
No, this is not
too cold.
John is taking off for his yearly fishing epic on Lake Erie.
There you go.
And every year it's been really crappy weather for him. I think last year it was really cold and raining. And
see, that doesn't make fishing fun.
No, I don't think. And I love to fish.
Yeah.
I absolutely love to fish. And I especially love fishing up there because it's for walleyes and things.
Yeah.
But,
see, I've never been up to Erie.
Oh, I like it.
See, we used to go every year. We used to go deep sea fishing. We would leave out of North Carolina, go out to the Gulf Stream, and spend like the entire day fishing out there.
Oh, how nice!
And you went with us before, didn't you, Clint?
Yeah, I did.
You gotta speak into the mic.
Yeah, I did.
He's on red.
See, can't you guys keep those colors straight? Okay, go ahead. Speak.
Hey, you remember that?
Yeah.
There we go.
See, it took him a while.
Yeah, and we used we would come back with like all kinds of stuff. But every time we went, it's usually pretty good weather.
Yeah, well, it's the ocean.
Yeah.
South. Yes. Well,
true.
John's leaving Wednesday, so we shall see what we shall see.
Hopefully. Well, I'm Jordan Cline.
Yep.
You noticed that Sarah's voice got a little deeper.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not Sarah. That's Clint Curry, our opening song that we play, that we get emails about how much they like. Mm-hmm. That's Mr. Clint Curry. Playing and rocking.
Thank you.
I'm going to have him one time bring his guitar, and that way he can play it live, like opening the show. I think it'd be fun. Yeah?
Okay.
Maybe.
One-word answers. He's a talkative fella. Of course, we got the lovely Lola Miller. You're going to giggle again before I leave.
No, but... Oh, I thought you were going to say something amusing. See, that's what I wait for every week.
See, there's the giggle.
There it is.
And my soul crushing. Today's show should be fun. We got My Ghost Story on the Biography Channel. I don't know if you guys out there have watched it. You can give us a call, 304-214-1600 if you're out of the area, 1-866-514-1600, and that's toll free.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's one of them new ghosty shows. I guess it's one of the top ghosty shows now.
Well, let's see here. I've seen it listed. Unfortunately, I have not watched it yet.
You haven't watched it?
No. Have you? No.
We watched it out there a little bit for a minute or two. Well, you know me and show prep.
Yes.
We get along very well. We respect each other's space. But
well, see, it's always fun that way. It's like you never tell me who we're having because then it's really a surprise. It's kind of like Christmas.
It's like Christmas.
Every Monday.
Some days you open up a present that's, a shiny red bicycle, and then
other times it sucks.
Some days it's a severed head.
I wasn't going to get that bad. Well, I figured socks and underwear are the worst presents you can get.
Have you heard this show? I'm joking.
I try to sleep through it most of the time.
Oh, it makes me sad.
Let's see. Yeah.
All right, you getting it up?
Yeah.
All right, My Ghost Story. It's on the Biography Channel. I guess, like I said, it's supposed to be one of Biography Channel's #1
episode guide.
Is there? I saw it said celebrity ghost stories too. It's really funny. I'm going to bring it up when we get her on the air. A guest that we had a while ago. I don't know if you remember Alex Monty Kanawati, the film director.
Yeah, you got that name out once tonight, and I'm proud of you because I don't think I could have.
Well, it rhymes. Alex Monty Kanawati. I don't know. He's probably going to send some hate mail for me doing that. But I guess he was on there. I saw he had posted something on his Facebook page. Oh, I'm going to be on My Ghost Story. And I think, were you with us when we had Eddie Benitez, the jazz player?
Yeah.
And we played a lot of his songs and we talked about it. I think he was on My Ghost Story as well. I think that was one of his deals. I think that was his show. And I did watch that show. Because, I got to...
When is Joe going to be?
Which Joe?
Is Courtney there?
Well, I guess Joe Montalto can be on any time Joe Montalto wants to be on. He is the king of UPRN. Were you wanting me to send Joe a message?
No, he was supposed to be on Faked or Real Paranormal or Faked.
Oh. Okay, well, Joe Montalto, if you want a message on the chat room, I guess, and let us know when time whatever show you're going to be on, because Lola's interested. All right, our guest, Miss Courtney Armstrong. She is the supervising producer of My Ghost Story that we've been talking about for the last few minutes. Courtney, you with us?
I am. Hi, Jordan. How are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
Excellent.
Now, sorry this is last minute for you. We didn't get to do as much pre-show jab with each other. I guess the boss man couldn't make it today, and you're stepping in.
Yes, exactly.
No.
Know how that is.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, by the way, do you think you can cover this in 10 minutes? Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I got the email yesterday. They go, by the way, here she is. Good luck. Not that you'd be bad.
Right.
Now tell us what you do. What does a supervising producer do? Are you the one that does all the work?
Pretty much. That's exactly my job.
That's what Lola said. Lola was like, "Oh, we're not getting the creator on. Oh, we're getting the one that does all the real work."
So I've been with the show from the beginning, and I've worked as everything from one of the bookers who finds people to be on the show to one of the producers who does the interviews and works with the editors. And now I kind of help oversee all of those processes, the booking, the story production, the editing, travel, kind of all of that.
Now, how do you guys try to stay local, or do you go all over?
No, we go all over. So what we do is we fly people from all over the country, and as of this season, from internationally as well. We fly them to Los Angeles, interview them at our local studio, and then we do point-of-view B-roll shots back at the location where their story took place.
Okay, so the video that you do on the show isn't real video. It's like a dramatization.
Well, it's a mix. I mean, anything that's presented as evidence is evidence that people have brought in. And a lot with people using more and more infrared cameras, anything that's infrared and has people like, oh my God, I'm really scared right now, that is sent in to us. We don't recreate any of that.
Oh, so you don't have people going, I'm scared.
No.
Because I could do some killer voice work for you if you wanted.
Oh, really? All right.
Yeah,
well,
I can be,
We'll keep it for another project for sure.
There we go.
Yeah, so we don't recreate that. What we will do is recreate, we'll do a bunch of shots of the outside of the house,
Yeah.
That kind of deal.
That's fun. Now, do you personally get to meet all the people you have on?
Most of them, actually. When I was producing them, I've produced something like 65 plus of my own stories, and so I was intimately involved with 130 of our storytellers because I was the one who did, took them through all of everything that needed to happen. And then beyond that, I meet a lot of the other people at the stage when we do the interviews.
Okay. That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get into this?
Into this show?
Yes. Well, yeah.
I had worked with Mark Phillips, who is the creator of the show and owner of this company. I'd worked with him years and years ago on a completely different show called Lie Detector. And out of the blue, he shot me an email and said, "What are you doing? I'm starting up a new show." And that's how I came onto my ghost story.
Now, do you believe in... do you believe...
It's very interesting, and I get asked this all the time.
No.
It's not no. It was no. It was no before I started this. Or even more than no, it was just I'd never given it, honestly, 1 minute of thought.
Yeah.
But a couple of years later and a couple of hundred ghost stories later, I can definitely say I've seen some things I can't explain.
Is this like in your own home, or?
No, this is just on the show.
Okay.
Although it's very funny, the first season I was really seemed to be taking my work home, and I would wake up with these vivid dreams, and I was just really kind of very on edge. But I have never, to my knowledge, had a paranormal experience personally.
Well, join the club. I keep hoping for one. We go on ghost hunts, all this stuff. Everybody else has experiences, and me, I'm walking around going, "What about me? What about me?"
Yeah, we have people come on the show that claim to have some kind of experience every time they go out, and Lola's just like, so unfair.
Yeah. Seriously, you expect me to believe this when I've been there too?
Right.
So.
I think I'd be scared. I mean, a lot of the stuff I hear, I'm like, oh my God, I'd be so terrified.
Yeah, there is some, and then other times, then you talk to some people and they say, well, really, you can let your imagination run away with you, but a ghost really can't do anything to you.
Right.
So, but take your chances on that. I've actually seen a girl, she was like 5 feet away from me, we were at the penitentiary down in Moundsville. It's really old and really haunted, and they killed a lot of people there. And we were in the psych ward, and so, of course, I'm like, oh, yeah, this is where everybody has experiences. Something's going to happen for me. She ended up with a big red welt on her neck, and she's going, oh, yeah, I heard voices. And I'm thinking, oh, man, either that or you forgot to take your meds today, I can't win. I just can't win. So
she wants to see a ghost and gets scared she runs to the woods and gets abducted.
Oh,
that's Lola's wish.
Yeah, that'd be a big night.
Wouldn't it though? Oh, nobody'd know what they were getting into. It'd kind of be like the kidnappers that, wanted ransom, and then pretty soon they're paying people to take me away,
What's that? What are you going to do? Now, without having any personal experiences like that, do you get, experiences, I guess, from the crew? Does the crew have any kind of experience?
Yes. The crew, the producers, so on Biography.com, if you go to the My Ghost Stories section, you'll see a little section of extras, including crew stories. So a recent one we shot was one of our camera guys was at the Olive Graber house, I believe. Mm-hmm. And he got these amazing, he called them the creeper. And it was this shape-shifting, pitch-black apparition that moved around the building he was in. So that was really intense. And then we had a producer who had a really amazing experience with a medium on our show, and it had all to do with her grandmother and just connections from the other world. So, yeah, a bunch of the crew and other producers have had experiences.
Well, that's neat.
It is neat. And actually, there's one that I do appear in briefly. Another cameraman talks about an experience where his jib camera, which is a huge camera with an arm, it inexplicably fell down on a producer, and that should never, ever happen. The thing is bolted in. And
were you the producer it fell on?
I was the producer, and it was also my bleeped scream that you'll hear.
Expletive.
Yes. So, yes, I was in part a little bit.
Well, that's fun.
Mm-hmm. So you have had an experience.
Yeah, how is that not an experience? You walk into a haunted house and a big, giant metal thing falls on your head.
Yeah.
As I was saying that, I'm like, wow, I guess Yes, I have. No? No, you are right. Well, it was scary then, my first experience.
Yeah, and what Lola said about them not being able to hurt you was completely bunk.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I know, different.
We did have somebody on the show once that said a ghost pushed them down the steps.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But we really don't know if it was the ghost or the alcohol.
when the two combine.
That's why they call it spirits.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, he's witty today.
So what So what goes on behind the scenes of this My Ghost Story? How do you find stories? How do you create the show? How do you do what you do?
Yeah, well, a lot goes on behind the scenes. So the first thing is finding the stories, and that happens a bunch of different ways. Now that we've been very successfully on the air for a while, a lot of the stories will come through Bio's website, because you can submit a story there.
Okay, so that's how they submit, through Biography Channel's website?
They can do that, or people can write into My Ghost Story at mppt.tv, and which we're in touch with a whole lot of different paranormal groups, and so they will submit their own stories. In addition to that, and especially in the early days before the show had aired, we had to go out and find them. That could be anything from just researching paranormal groups to looking through news stories of maybe something crazy was caught on camera at a gas station.
Yeah.
And so it goes both ways. It's a lot of phone calls, it's a lot of emails, and so that's the first part, is finding the people.
Now, is there like a huge screening process? Like, how do you decide what goes on and what doesn't?
So we need a couple of elements. Every story, there's been a few exceptions, but otherwise every story has two storytellers. And it's on Biography. It's called My Ghost Story. So we're really looking for people who have a compelling personal story. I went someplace, I felt this happened, maybe even now I'm changed as a person because of it.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Is it better to have a ghost hunting group? Because, I guess they'd have a lot of different experiences. Or do you look for, the homeowners? You look for the business owners? You look for the people who it directly affects?
So we do both, and a lot of times what we'll do is combine the two. So maybe we find this unbelievable evidence from a ghost hunting group,
Uh-huh.
and, then we use, say, one member from the group, but then the other storyteller is the person whose house it happened at.
Okay.
So then you get both. But, yeah, so we look for compelling people who are, emotional and articulate. We like cool locations. We've done some really interesting locations, and that can be almost another character on the show.
What's the best, the neatest location you've been at?
Well, we've been in tons of sort of sanatoriums and terrifying, scary houses, but the kind I like, we did this one segment, it was called Phantom Security Breach,
Uh-huh.
and it just took place at this municipal building in Anderson, South Carolina, the most plain Jane building, but inside this 9-to-5 building, really, shocking videos caught on the security cameras.
Really? Like what?
There was this ghost, and one of our storytellers described it best. This ghost had a stride to it, and it was just walking around, and this mist would appear and walk across the room, and I swear sit down in a chair at one of them.
Really?
So, and I like that just because no one's looking to go and have a haunted experience at a municipal building.
Yeah. Wow. Like in the courtroom?
It wasn't in the courtroom. It was where people go, if I remember correctly, to pay their water bills.
Happy, satisfied customers. That's what they are. You see?
That's got to be the worst job for a ghost.
That's why it's haunting it.
You're haunting the water bill place. Yes. Wow.
So, that I think that's really cool. We've had, of course, lots of cemeteries. We've had
really
roads where accidents happened, and it's now haunted.
Now, do you just get stories from like the cemeteries and the roads, or do you actually get like video evidence when they send it in?
Well, it depends. When people submit, when we're talking to people to be on the show, they send in casting so we can see their story play out, and then they send in whatever their evidence is. It could be video. Sometimes it's only photographs that are really, interesting, and then EVPs as well.
Well, see, like we get a lot of people, but nobody ever really brings up. You would think with like a paranormal radio show, you would have people come on talking about the cemeteries and stuff like that, but we really don't. Not a lot of people have any kind of not a lot of people who are really into it really give cemeteries any kind of acknowledgement, because like, oh, nobody died in a cemetery,
Huh.
But we really have, we, Lola?
No, really, we haven't. And my question is, that's where their loved ones come to, pay tribute or to honor or whatever. So you would think that that's where the spirits would want to hang out because that's where the people come.
Right.
But yeah, we've had a lot of, ghost groups and so. No, you don't go to cemeteries.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know why you wouldn't. And the other place we've had a lot of, say, like, even though maybe nobody's died there, we have a really old theater building here. And it's an old music hall, and that place is really active, particularly after there's been a concert, because the increased energy that's in there gives the spirits something else to feed off of. But I've never heard of anybody dying in there. And yet there's a guy sitting up in the balcony that smokes an old stogie, and they say you can smell it. And, there's a stagehand that will grab girls that are, back in the wings and up in the catwalks and stuff. So, I just think that's I think you go where the people you want to be around are going to be.
Right.
But the other thing I don't understand, if you're a ghost, why would you stay in a prison? Wouldn't you want to leave there once you actually could, when your spirit could leave?
Or can they?
Or can I? Yeah. I mean, that's the other question. I mean, sometimes, are they trapped and don't want to be there but are? And maybe that's why they're having angry hauntings.
Yeah.
I don't know. But we've also done a lot of bars, which I could really, if I were a spirit, I think I'd probably hang out at one of those. It would be fun.
No. Well, we've heard stories about like haunted pubs and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's not too far. Like, I guess the buildings before they were bars.
Yeah. We had one. It was in Long Island, New York.
Uh-huh.
And it was built on the foundation of a hotel that had burned down. And there was a guy who had lived there, and he had a very traumatic life and took his own life on the same place. And this is a very haunted bar. And we got tons of video sent to us from it. Just glasses flying off the shelves and soda guns popping out. And, the theory was that it was on the ground of where all this death had occurred and tragedy.
Really?
Yeah, so...
I think we had somebody tell us one time it was an old pub, and they would actually catch on their cameras like miners, like coal miners, walking across the floor, but they would be like they would be out on their shins, walking across. And it turns out when they brought up history, do you remember this at all?
No, God.
No. That they actually had tore out the floor and raised it like a foot.
Oh.
And put a new floor in. So I thought that was really interesting.
Wow.
No, that is.
Right? I should have my own show.
Yes, you should. We should go on My Ghost Story.
Listen to all this crap I heard. Let's see. What else? Interesting cases.
Yeah.
Here's something I want to ask.
Yes.
Because I saw somebody that we had on the show a while ago. And today, actually, I saw he put on his Facebook that he was going to be on My Ghost Story. So I just want to see if you remember him and what your thoughts are.
Go ahead, say it.
Alex Mani Kanawati. You know him?
Yes. Is he a director?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, how'd you feel about his story?
I didn't produce it.
Okay.
So I didn't, just so I can't speak from a very intimate perspective, but it was cool to watch. I mean, the evidence that he had submitted was pretty phenomenal. Did he show you what he had submitted? Or
Oh, yeah, I have like a copy of his movie.
Oh, okay. I mean, it was pretty scary stuff.
Yeah, it's really interesting stuff. And then there was another guy. This was probably like in the first season or so. It would have been Eddie Benitez or Benitez. He was a jazz musician.
See, that name unfortunately doesn't ring a bell.
Doesn't ring a bell. See, I'm pretty sure it was My Ghost Story that he was on. His mom would do like exorcisms in their kitchen.
Oh, wow. Yes. Well, hopefully they were on our show. That seems really interesting.
If not, I can hook you up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're always looking for the next good stories.
But what are some interesting stories that you have gotten a hold of?
So from the first season, there was one about this baffling blue mist, and it was this mist that was captured on a gas station security camera.
Uh-huh.
And the video was really cool, and I wanted the story because it had been, I don't know, someplace on CNN. I saw it, and I thought it was just amazing video. But then beyond that evidence, the story was unbelievably compelling. This husband and wife couple, as soon as they had bought this gas station, they started just bringing home these really dark things, and they weren't sure if it was a demonic energy or what it was. So I like that one because it's kind of another case of they weren't looking to be scared or find a ghost. It came looking for them. Cool video, and it had a big effect on their personal lives.
Really?
So that one was really interesting. We had this past season, the one that's not airing now, but before that, it was The Barber from Beyond, which was kind of
a Sweeney Todd.
It was something like that.
Oh.
Actually, it was more of a gentle story. This another husband and wife story. Moved into a house, and then they were haunted by this man named Charlie who'd lived there, and we had really great history on who Charlie, the spirit was, and I don't know. It was very cool. It was a lot of history. It was a good-looking house. And then I think my favorite is the Villisca Axe Murder Houses, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite was the Axe Murder House.
Yeah. I've seen that. I've seen shows on that though before. That's one of the places I really don't want to go in case if that would be my first experience. Mm-hmm. I don't think I want to deal with that.
It seems too much.
Yeah. Just a little bit.
You don't want your first experience to be somebody from the Axe Murder House?
No, I don't. Well, and it was kids were involved.
Yeah.
See, I don't know much about that for whatever reason right now. It's not coming to mind.
Yeah, it's in Villisca, Iowa.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And there were, I believe it was 6 kids and 2 adults were axed to death while they slept.
Wasn't it a handyman or a transient that did it, or they thought did it?
It's never been solved. But what you're saying, that's definitely one of the really strong theories. But it's an unsolved case. And,
well, I want to ask you what experiences was your show based? Like what were they talking about in the Axe Murder House? And I did you say what happened in the barber case? I know you said the house, but what was the case itself?
So the case itself was a husband and wife. They moved into this house, and they have all sorts of odd things going on. Things are misplaced. The wife is feeling just really like she's being watched, and strong energies in certain parts of the house. And then they and their friends, end up just taking pictures, as people do in their homes, and finding these unbelievable and unexplainable spirits. One of them, it looked like it was terrible, but it looked like a KKK member.
Wow.
And Charlie had been a former slave. So it was a really deep, not scary. They weren't screaming. It was just, wow, Charlie was so connected to this house. Once he was freed from being a slave,
yeah.
He lived there, and so that's the bulk of what happened in that story. And then in the Villisca, one of the reasons I like that story was we did a two-parter. So we did people who went there who had a really crazy experience. I mean, they took pictures, and you saw the absolute spitting image of the mother show up.
Really?
The deceased mother in the mirror.
Wow.
Yeah. And you had EVPs. There were no children there. Clear EVPs of children. Really bone-chilling. And then the companion piece was of the caretaker who lived next door. His name was Donnie Hauser. And that story was about how he took his work home with him and became a little bit obsessed with the house.
Really?
Yeah. So that was...
Yeah, that's always, I always love really good EVP. Like, out of all the time we've been doing the show, I've really, it's only been a few, like, really good EVP, and I think I got half of them.
Do you remember what was the one that stands out the most?
It would be kids.
Yeah.
Kids are always the freakiest.
Yeah.
Kids are so creepy.
This from a dad to be,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
but we were at one investigation, and there was no kids, and like we had, I was up on the third floor and heard like a kid like saying, "Come find me," and it's like what? Like I was next to a guy like who was like easily like 350, and I was like, "Was that you?" He's like, "No," and then like it was a 3-story house. We had recorders on each floor, and like throughout the investigation, we heard the same exact noise just go through the recorders.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. I'll send you an email.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. Yeah. But I mean, kids are so, I don't know why they're around, but
well, that's what's so disturbing is the fact that it's a child that has died, and in a lot of times violently.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. It's like kids should move on. There should not be a reason that a kid's spirit would stay. I don't. It's in The Shining. The worst scene are those twins at the end of the hallway. It's like, oh,
standing around the bloody mess.
Yes.
Red rum, red rum. You can tell we've got too much time on our hands.
Everything you're saying, though, those are really, they are scary, the kids stuff, and it makes you wonder a lot.
Yeah. Well, what celebrities have you had on?
What celebrities have we had on? I don't. I'm running through my mind's Rolodex because we are a companion piece to Celebrity Ghost Story.
Oh, I thought maybe you produced them both.
Oh no, that's most people think that, and it's a reasonable assumption. So I was going to say I think they have a fairly solid lock on the celebrities. So we're different.
I'm gonna play this. I found it.
Yeah.
This EVP, just because I can.
Okay, wait a minute. I want to kick your mic up real high so she
can hear it. Okay. All right, did you hear that?
Whoa, yeah.
Right? Isn't that creepy?
See, and you were getting it from his laptop, just in, he moved his mic down. Yeah. When you're actually listening to it with a headset on.
I bet. My goodness.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'll email you the files. They're wicked.
Definitely. I'd love to, yeah.
Boy, Jordan, you're really angling to try and get a spot
Yeah,
on
have
the
you
show.
would you be someone who should come be on our show? You let us come be on your show?
I want a partnership.
Yeah.
I'll find them. I'll find the people and stick them on you.
Excellent. Excellent.
Well, yeah, we've had some people that live locally, that have had some really interesting stories and compelling stories that they've, usually, traditionally on Halloween we do one where it's all just people calling in with ghost or alien story, some type of paranormal story. Mm-hmm. And there have been quite a few around here because this area is known, first of all, for a UFO crash back in the 50s.
52, I think.
Yeah. And then it's an old area. I mean, downtown Wheeling is Victorian to the max. Wow. And we've had, not on this show, but on a different show that I'm on, we had these ladies called the Angel Ladies, and they're like psychics, and they can talk to spirits. When they come here, they're seeing not just cars driving down modern streets. They're seeing the horse and buggies and the people on their stoops and all that kind of stuff. I mean, personally, I wouldn't want to drive in that condition, but
wow.
The stories that these ladies can tell from the spirits that are just like hanging out. There's somebody here in our studio, a guy, because it used to be a bank, and I guess he had this thing because I used to work late, and he got really mad. It was knocking papers out of people's hands and stuff because I wasn't here in the evening anymore. But did he ever say anything to me? No. I can't win. But, yeah, we've got a lot of stories around here because the houses are all so old and,
Yeah, you should just bring up a film crew and we'll point you in the direction.
Yes.
We'll take you. We won't point you. We will take you.
There we go.
Even better.
The season 4 Wheeling. This whole area.
Well, our crew guys have certainly seen their fair share of unbelievable locations and generally creepy places because they're alone. They don't travel with a producer or even an assistant. So they are there. They are on these locations, sometimes very deep, late at night. They're creeping around. Yeah.
Probably get into some...
I'm sure they've seen a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. They're by themselves. They probably get into some scary situations. I'm Clint Curry, by the way. I'm listening in here in the studio.
Yeah, he's sitting here with us. Jordan was remiss in not introducing him at the beginning of the show. But.
Well, hello.
Hi.
But, what, how do I say, because you say, they get into some, shady situations there. What's one of the stories that they came back and were like, all right, don't send us back there again?
Oh,
we got one.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm 99% sure about this. It was at Casa Madrid, which is a hotel that's said to be haunted by a gangster.
Neat.
And sorry?
I said neat.
Yeah. And people have had experiences where they have felt pushed and out of breath and really visceral stuff. So one of our camera guys, he was at Casa Madrid filming, and he was walking down the stairs and felt pushed, and he was absolutely terrified. He turned the camera on himself to say, this is what's happening, this is what happened, and he looked pale. He was breathing heavy.
Wow.
It was really, that was...
So it was like straight up everything they were saying was happening to him.
Yep, exactly. And he was scared. I mean, he didn't really take that very lightly, to tell you the truth.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Now, I wonder, did he believe before he took this job?
I don't know if he believed or not. He does now.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if he did going in. We're split, I think, in our camera guys on believer versus not yet convinced.
Because I would, we've had people on that say that a lot of it is like kind of self-fulfilling prophecy, or the power of suggestion. And so if you're going into a place, that's why some of these shows, it really does drive me crazy, because they get the full background and then they go in. And so, of course, these things happen because you're looking for those things to happen. But it's interesting to take somebody and put them in a place and not tell them anything,
Sure.
and see them what kind of evidence they can come up with, if any at all. I mean, I always think, too, ghosts don't respond on command, And if you're really kind of a little brat, you go, well, I'm not going to answer them. They want me to, So, I don't know.
But yeah, and sometimes a lot of the investigators, which I've found this very interesting, a lot of the investigators that we've worked with that have been on our show, they also they don't like to know anything before they go into a house. They don't want to know what the history is yet, because probably just what you're saying, they don't want to be unduly influenced.
Yeah.
So you have investigators that go in with?
Not who, I think I misspoke, not who work for our show or anything.
Okay.
Just storytellers whose stories we've told.
Okay.
Yeah, when I said...
I'm sorry.
Possessive when I said mine. Probably because I get to know these guys so well when I work with them to do stories. But just a lot of investigators out there tend to like to really go in blind, get what they get,
and then look for the history. Mm-hmm. Because it makes it that much better when you go in there not expecting, because, as an investigator, you go in and most of the time you don't get anything. But when you do, and later you find out the backstory, like you hear a woman's voice up on the third floor, and then all of a sudden, there was a woman that lived up on the third floor. She had a lot of cats,
Yes.
It wasn't you, Lola. But I mean, it makes it that much. I mean, I want to say fun, but I mean, a lot of people don't expect it to be fun, And it is hurting somebody else. I guess that's an unrespectful thing to say. Fun. Anyway, how does one submit a story to get on your show?
So the best way is to shoot us an email.
Uh-huh.
And that's my ghost story, so MyGhostStory @mppt.tv, and that's M like Mark, P like Phillips, P like Phillips, T like television.
.tv.
.tv, correct, not .com. So if you shoot us an email, someone will be back in touch. We usually have a pretty quick turnaround. It could be same day.
And it doesn't matter where in the country they are.
Where in the country, or as I think I had mentioned, we're doing international stories coming up for season 3. We have stories in Australia, England, Ireland, Scotland, Canada.
Wow.
So, yeah, which that's been a hoot. It really has been funny. So
racking up a lot of frequent flyer miles, are you? Yeah.
But yes, it doesn't matter wherever your listeners are, anywhere in the country or outside.
We're all over.
Yeah,
all over. Yeah. Okay, yeah, because we'll fly them into Los Angeles to interview, and then, which is kind of neat. A lot of people haven't seen Los Angeles, and then one of our crew will go to them.
Wow. And it doesn't matter where they're at, because I think we have some people in Australia and
they can listen to us. Yeah.
That would be great. Yeah, and literally anywhere in the world.
Wow, that's a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. And tell us about the show. When does it come on?
So the show comes on. It varies, of course, by time, but Eastern it comes on at 10 o'clock p.m. on Saturday nights, and it's actually been double premiering in the recent weeks, a 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and a 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so 2 new episodes.
It's 2 new episodes.
That's what, for the past several weeks, that was the network chose to do that, and I don't know if it's because of that or just because we've been on for longer and more people know, but if I
Can you keep up with the demand? 2 episodes a week? Because it's an hour long, right?
It's an hour long, and in each episode there's between 5 and 6 stories.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, we're churning out a lot of episodes, and as of right now, the past 2 weeks in a row, I believe, we have broken records in our time slot in terms of ratings.
Wow.
Well, folks, here, if you have Comcast, it's 115 is the Biography Channel.
Oh, perfect.
So
that, and you can also on biography.com. They run episodes online as well, if you want to check it out.
Biography.com.
Correct. And then you just click through to My Ghost Story, and that's where you can also see our crew extras. And
now, are you on any of those?
I'm not, except for that one
with the bleeped out word.
Exactly.
You're one spot on TV, and you're.
Yeah,
that's why.
But I produced most of them. So I've had a hand in most of them.
Well, I want to say this. I'm on the website, and I have been since we started talking to you. And it's a very easy website to get around, to move around, and find the episodes that you want. It's really nice. As somebody that really does have a problem a lot of times with websites, I appreciate something that is laid out this nicely and this cleanly.
Oh, great. Well, hopefully your listeners will take a look and agree with you. But yeah.
Give out the website, Lola?
It's bio.truestory. Wait a minute. No, that's not it. Biography.com. That's it. And then once you get on that, you just click on My Ghost Story, and it takes you right to their site.
All right, biography.com.
Yep.
That's easy. Can you give your email address out one more time? Because I know it was pretty long and complicated, and I just want to make sure.
Yes, absolutely. It's myghost@mppt.tv, and that's myghost@mppty M like Mark, P like Phillips, T like Thomas, .tv.
Okay.
That's awesome. Hopefully we can get some people out to you.
That would be great.
Like I said, the email that we were talking on, is that the same email? Or is that
you and I were?
Yeah.
That's my work email. I can give that if that works.
Well, no, I'm just saying I can send you some people.
Oh yes, that would work even better.
I was just making sure that one would work, or that wasn't Mark's email or something.
Yes, no, that is mine. That
okay.
is mine.
And that way, we can shoot some people your way as well, because like Lola said, we get a lot. I mean, having the show, we hear a lot of stories.
Sure.
So
yeah, and if I ever have an experience, you will be first on the list that I will contact.
I would love to.
And when you get her on, I mean, it's going to have to be marqueed, and it's got to be a big event because this girl's wanted it for a long time.
Just keep your finger next to the dump button. That's all, because you never know what might come out of my mouth in circumstances like that. So.
Oh my goodness!
Has there ever been anybody like that? That it was just so bad you were like, oh, maybe I shouldn't even put it on because we bleep out every word she says.
Oh, we have had, absolutely. I mean, we've had crying, we've had fainting, we've had, and we've also had ghosts say some pretty nasty things that we've actually bleeped out a couple of spirits.
Yeah.
Now, is it fair to have to bleep out the spirits because you don't know they're saying that? It's just like a suggestion, like, hey, maybe this is it.
I guess that's true. I mean,
couldn't you fight the FCC for that? We had this conversation because we had somebody that had wanted to play an EVP, and it was very questionable.
Right.
But we were like, well, who's going to get in trouble for that one?
Yeah.
Like, how do the radio or the recorder bumped, and it just sounded like the F word.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good point. We've had people have all kinds of reactions. I mean, we've had people cry during the interview because they're recounting such an emotional experience.
Wow.
Certainly people curse during the interview.
I can imagine.
Yes. All sorts of reactions.
That's great. Courtney, we want to thank you very much.
Yes, thanks a lot.
This has been a lot of fun.
Oh, great. Well, it's been my pleasure, too, and I look forward to connecting with you on email.
Oh, definitely. Courtney Armstrong, the supervising producer of My Ghost Story on the Biography Channel, and that's 10 o'clock Saturday nights, you said?
Yes.
Awesome. Get out there and watch it and
enjoy.
Enjoy.
Yeah, and if you got any stories, make sure you email them to them.
Yeah, if you can't get through to them, email me and I'll send it to them.
There you go.
How's that?
Sounds good to me.
Awesome. Thanks, Courtney, very much.
Thank you. Take care.
You have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
She was cool.
That was cool. Hold on. Ghosties don't pay taxes. They're not subject to rules. Thanks. Ghosties don't pay taxes. They're not subject to rules. So apparently we can
air
their dirty laundry.
Well, that was fun.
It was. I told you you'd like it.
Yeah.
Like I said, for those of you who don't know yet, we've talked about it a little bit before. I'm moving to South Carolina.
Yeah.
And that's going to be in the end of July. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the future holds for Whispers Radio. No. Whether we work something out here at the studio or I find another studio down there. But for my last day in Wheeling, for our last show, I want to see if anybody has any thoughts of what we should do for our last show.
Careful on that one.
You should end early. No, but I was thinking, what if we do another, like an early Halloween show?
Yeah, something like that.
Think that would be cool? I don't know. Let us know. You can call Lola and let her know here at the station, or email me, whispers1600. That's whispers1600@gmail.com. Whatever your ideas are, and we'll try to figure something out.
Okay.
And that's all our time?
Yep.
So until next week, don't be afraid. Only believe.